have in common? The Gila monster, the orchard swallowtail caterpillar, the peacock mantis shrimp. They all have funny names. The wonderpuss. Exit, stage left. How do they come up with these names? Like this. Ta-da! It's a fried egg jellyfish. Don't forget the secretary bird. Or the blue ribbon eel. And me, proboscis monkey. Get the scoop on what's what with You're Called What.
Wait, what? You're called what?
Today, we meet a special wolf mother.
What's the time, Mrs. Wolf?
Spot a clever fish that looks like a walking plant.
Is that plant moving?
And face off with an ant that bites and stings. Ouch! What do you get when you cross seaweed with a ferocious dragon? A weedy sea dragon.
You're called what?
A weedy sea dragon.
G'day! I may be weedy, but I'm still a dragon. Roar!
The weedy sea dragon is a fish native to Australia, where it can be found in shallow southern waters. These delicate marine creatures like to inhabit rocky reefs, seaweed beds, and kelp forests. The weedy sea dragon takes its name from its weed-like appearance.
And from how I'm a ferocious dragon.
With its slender shape and small leaf-like appendages, it doesn't look out of place floating amongst the seaweed.
It's to lure visitors into my underwater lair.
Weedy sea dragons can also change their colour to blend in even better with their environment.
Perhaps red today. Red dragons are always the scariest.
As if looking like seaweed wasn't enough, they act like it too. These slow-moving copycats drift in water, mimicking algae swaying in the current.
Even red dragons like to go with the flow, dude.
When they want to swim instead of just floating, weedy sea dragons power up the small pectoral fins behind their heads, plus the long fin running down their back.
Come on, wings, work!
These funky fish use their natural camouflage to stealthily hunt prey. Their long, thin snouts are ideal for sucking up tiny crustaceans called mysids, plankton, and small fish. While these creatures may look like seahorses, they're actually quite different. Sea dragons have slightly longer snouts, and they don't have prehensile or grippy tails like seahorses. Their cousin, the leafy sea dragon, is similar, though it has slightly fancier leaf-like appendages.
This town isn't big enough for 2 dragons.
Well, actually it is. It's huge. It's the entire ocean. The weedy sea dragon. It's not easy being weedy. What do you get when you mix a bowl of cheesy pasta with a chili bird? A macaroni penguin.
You're called what?
A macaroni penguin.
Just trying out the pasta. Be ready for the sauce in 1 minute.
Penguins aren't only found on the South Pole. They're also on some islands in the South Atlantic and Indian Oceans. Macaroni penguins hang out on rocky slopes and pebble beaches in huge colonies, sometimes hundreds of thousands of penguins.
Excuse me, isn't this way for garlic bread?
They're about 70 centimetres tall and the weight of a domestic cat. But it's the crest feathers on this bird that gets all the attention.
Oh, I'm so hungry. Wait, is that spaghetti you have there?
Where?
Right there, on your head.
The feathers do look a bit like strands of pasta. However, the macaroni penguin was named by English explorers in the 18th century. At the time, a fancy man who wore flashy feathers in his hat was called a macaroni. Explorers thought the on-trend penguin looked like the dandy men back at home.
Oh, nice feathers.
Thanks, nice chin strap.
Macaroni penguins have one of the loudest penguin calls. That's to help find each other. They're very short-sighted on land.
Frank, you're eating my head again. You know that's not spaghetti, right?
But they have great eyesight underwater, where they hunt mostly for krill, some crustaceans, and squid.
Nana's secret recipe.
Whee!
They steer clear of sharks and leopard seals on the hunt for a macaroni meal.
and short-sighted penguins with a taste for pasta. Frank, are you eating yourself now?
The Macaroni Penguin, a South Pole treat with a hairstyle you can't beat.
Okay, time for gelati. What do you call a group of kangaroos when they're all together? Is it a mob of kangaroos? Is it a troop of kangaroos? Or is it a court of kangaroos? A group of kangaroos is called... all three!
What?
A kangaroo group can be called a mob, a troop, or a court.
All rise. Kangaroo Court is now in session.
The kangaroo is Australia's official national animal. They're also found on surrounding islands. They're grazers, so you'll find them in areas where they can eat grass, herbs, and tree bark. You'll even see them in the desert. They're hardy and resourceful.
Forward march!
There are twice as many kangaroos in Australia as people. The large numbers have led them to being called troops. They're also called a court of kangaroos for the way they bounce around. Courts of the Gold Rush era were disorganised and would often jump from one room to another. Excuse me, late for court, mustn't displease the judge. Kangaroos have strong hind legs and move mostly by hopping. A big red roo can jump over 7 metres in one hop and right over the top of your average-sized dad.
We have a jumper. Pull over. You're under arrest.
In Australia, kangaroo groups are mostly known as mobs. You are hereby charged with leading a mob. The groups are led by a large male called a boomer.
A what?
That's right, a boomer. He's the mob boss of up to 50 kangaroos, which are mostly females and babies called joeys.
Sparring practice, kids. 1, 1, 2. Uppercut jab. 1, 2. That's it.
Joeys grow up play fighting, getting ready for the day they'll be called upon to lead the troops, or the mob, or even the court. And that's the final judgment on a kangaroo group.
Case closed.
ID crisis.
What do you get when you cross a burgundy bear with a feline? A red bearcat.
Yo, what?
A red bearcat? That sounds really intense.
That's your name.
Oh, wow. Am I a bear or a cat then?
Red bearcats can be found in the mountains of the Himalayas and Eastern Asia. They like a high-altitude forest in the colder climes.
All right, like those big panda dudes?
Red bearcats are also called red pandas. They share the same habitat and taste for bamboo. But unlike pandas, they don't just eat bamboo leaves. They'll also snack on other plants, fruit and eggs.
Look, I'll even do a frozen meal. I'm pretty chilled.
The red bearcat is much smaller than a giant panda. They're about the same size as a house cat.
Oh, cool. I'm a cat. Should I be calling a firefighter about now? I'm up pretty high.
Scientists decided long ago it was definitely not a cat. But for a while, did place the red bearcat in the same family as a bear and even a raccoon. But ultimately decided it wasn't closely related enough to any of them.
Dude, check my fur. Am I even red?
I'd say you're more of a rusty brown.
It's now considered to be so unique, it's in a family of its own, called Aluridae.
Whoa, I'm so special. I totally deserve a nap. That was exhausting.
The red bearcat, neither bear nor cat. ID crisis solved. What do you get when you cross something that makes you numb with a bat? It's a Numbat.
You're called what?
A Numbat.
Can't speak. Busy looking for numerous num-nums.
These stripy critters are native to Australia, found in 2 small isolated pockets in the southwest. Numbats live in eucalypt woodlands, where old and fallen trees provide hollow logs. Perfect spots for these mammals to take shelter, make a nest, or find food.
Did you say food? Nice! I'm nuts for anything nutritious.
They might have the word bat in their name, but the only flying these marsupials do is when they scurry along the ground.
Meow. No wings, no worries.
The name Numbat comes from the Australian Aboriginal language. When Europeans first saw Numbats, they mistook them for an anteater.
An anteater?
That's right, Numbats are also commonly referred to as banded anteaters. But just to numb our brains, they don't actually eat ants. The only things on a Numbat's brain when they're hungry are these termites.
Ew!
Now you're talking. Termite deliciousness. Nom, 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 nom.
Numbats eat many different kinds of termites. In fact, they love them so much, they can consume up to 20,000 of these bugs in a single day.
Really?
I'm going to need a Numbat nap.
Most Australian mammals avoid the heat of the day, but not the Numbat, because this is when termites leave the safety of their mounds for shallow soils. This also puts Numbats in danger from predators like snakes, goannas, and birds of prey. Luckily, the earthy colours in their coats give them camouflage against the leaf litter. The Numbat, a super cute striped mammal with unrivaled taste for termites.
Families.
Meet the wolf pack. It's a very close-knit family. Can you guess what the name for a female wolf is? Is it a mother wolf? A she-wolf? Or is it Mrs. Wolf? The right answer is a she-wolf.
You're called what?
A she-wolf. You'll find these canine families across the northern continents in the Americas, Europe and Asia. Wolves have adapted to live in most terrains, from deserts and forests to Arctic tundras, pretty much anywhere where there is plenty of food to hunt and not too many people. Keep up, Wolfgang. Wolf packs are a family group of about 10. They have a male and female leader. The leaders are called the alphas. The alpha she-wolf makes decisions about when to hunt or to move to a new place. She's usually the only wolf who has pups, but the entire pack will take care of them. What's the time, Mrs. Wolf? That's she-wolf to you, thank you. Pups in one litter are called litter mates. Like many youngsters, they play fight. They also make toys from bones, sticks and feathers to play with.
Hey, that's my special stick I got for my birthday.
We have the same birthday. As they get older, they start to hunt for smaller food like hares. When they're about 6 months old, they are allowed to join the pack for big hunts. A wolf pack working together can take down a moose, which is 10 times their size.
Hey sis, remember that time we fought over a stick?
I could still beat you. The wolf pack. Proving a team with strong leadership is hard to beat.
What do you get when you cross a rather large golf club with an odd-looking cephalopod? It's a broad-club cuttlefish.
You're called what?
A broad-club cuttlefish.
Smashing, darling! Who's up for another round of golf at the country club?
Broad-club cuttlefish can be found in the Indo-Pacific area. Coral reefs and shallow waters are where these chubby mollusks like to swing their clubs.
Gosh, there are a lot of sand traps on this course.
The broad-club cuttlefish takes its name from the clubs, or wide pads on the end of their feeding tentacles, which they use to capture prey. Their clubs like to target crustaceans and small fish, some of their favourite foods.
One does enjoy when the club puts on a good seafood buffet.
A natural master of disguise, the broad-club cuttlefish can change both the colour of its skin and its texture to match its surroundings, so their prey never know when it's sneaking up on them. It's no wonder they're sometimes referred to as the chameleons of the sea. These aquatic tricksters are also known to hypnotise their prey with flashing colours that ripple across their body.
I am the best golfer in this club. I should get a big trophy.
Big trophy. Best player.
Broad-club cuttlefish get the cuttle part of their name from a unique internal shell called a cuttlebone, which helps it hover and swim. How? The cuttlebone is like a sponge with lots of air pockets. By changing the amount of gas or liquid in these pockets, the cuttlefish can change its buoyancy, allowing it to move up and down in the water.
Oh, sorry. Just feeling a little gassy. All golfers have a handicap and, alas, this is mine.
The Broad Club Cuttlefish, a dazzling member of the club, the Cephalopod Club. What do you get when you mix some rugged Australian nature with a seriously thick milkshake and a pair of knobbly knees? A bush thick knee.
You're called what?
A bush thick knee.
Hey, nice knees!
Thanks. It took me about 20 years to get them just right.
Thick knees are also known as curlews, ground-dwelling birds found throughout the world. The bushstone curlew, or bush thick-knee, is an Australian species. You can see these thick knees darting about open woods, forest and inland waterways. That's why they're called bush thick knees. They can also be city slickers. You can often spot them hiding out around buildings, on golf courses and in cemeteries.
Are you sure there are no ghosts here? Cemeteries are so spooky. Oh, relax, there's no such thing.
They're called thick knees for the large joints in their long legs, which help them run about quickly. As ground dwellers, they forage for insects from the bush floor. Bush thick knees are notorious for the eerie wailing noises that they make at night.
Did you hear that? That definitely sounded like a ghost. What? That? No, that's just Mark wondering what's for dinner.
This piercing call has also earned them the name Screaming Woman Bird. However, thick knees are incredibly timid. They will freeze or slowly walk away if they feel threatened.
Okay, what was that? I told you, it's just Mark. Sheesh, you are so on edge today.
The bush thick knee, a bird that gives a whole new meaning to legging it.
Nope, that's it. I'm out. What do you call a group of crocodiles when they're relaxing together? Is it a leap of crocodiles? Is it a sleep of crocodiles? Or is it a bask of crocodiles? If you guessed the last answer, a bask of crocodiles, then you're right.
A what?
A group of crocodiles is called a bask. After 60 million years, we're finally on holiday. Unless it's napping or reading a romance novel, I am not doing a thing. Crocodiles are found on most continents in the world that have tropical zones. They come in varied shapes and sizes according to the habitat they live in. That includes swamps, inland freshwater systems, and salty creeks. Ocean-travelling saltwater crocs are the largest reptiles on the planet.
Oh, come on. This is just my holiday weight.
They're called a bask of crocodiles because they lay in the sun together at the water's edge.
How's my tan looking, Gerald?
Pretty great there, Ron.
The sunbaking helps keep their body temperature nice and warm. Like all reptiles, they're cold-blooded, which means they need the sun to heat up and keep them moving. Charles, ask the pool boy to bring another one of those swamp water smoothies. I can't even move. To avoid getting too hot, they alternate between lounging in the sun and dips in the water to cool down. Cannonball! Their eyes, ears and nostrils are located on top of their heads so they can keep their body submerged. It also helps them to snatch poolside snacks. Barely noticeable in the water, they can sneak up on unsuspecting prey.
Look, I just hit the buffet table pretty hard. Have I got anything in my teeth?
A bask of crocodiles. This is one vacation you might want to stay home for.
ID crisis.
What do you get when you cross a stubborn bull with a determined little ant? A bull ant.
You're called what?
A bull ant.
Well, go on, tell me. Am I a bull or am I an ant? I don't have all day.
Ants occur worldwide, and most places have one they fear more than most. In Australia, it's the bull ant. Bull ants aren't limited to forests and woodlands. They've burrowed their way into backyards with nests that can stretch for metres underground.
Who's gonna stop me? You?
The bull ant is formidable. Though only the size of a staple, they're known for aggressively defending their nests. They're instantly recognisable by their forward-pointing long mandibles.
Wait, what?
Mandibles. They are long, pinching jaws that look much like the horns of a bull.
Don't mess with the mandibles, or you get the horns, son.
But that's not even the part that hurts. Once this bull ant has locked onto its victim, it can deliver a paralysing sting from its body. And even more horrifying, they are jumper ants.
You can't run. Yeah!
Bulls. The cow kind have weaker eye muscles that make it hard for them to tell if a shadow is a hole in the ground. The bull ant has excellent vision and will spot and chase an intruder quite a distance from its turf.
What did I tell you? Get out of here!
The bull ant can carry more than 10 times its body weight.
Do I even lift? Have you seen this?
While it's as strong as a bull, this tiny insect is dedicated to defending its colony. The bull ant. ID crisis solved.
Are we done? I'll count to 3 before I chase you away. 1, 2.
What do you get when you add the ocean to a cow? A sea cow.
You're called what?
A sea cow.
That's me.
Oi, you're not a sea cow. You're a manatee. Hey now, you're not a sea cow either. You're a dugong. Manatees and dugongs are both sea cows. They're kind of close relatives. Manatees can be found along parts of the North American East Coast and the African West Coast. Their dugong cousins can be found in waters from East Africa across to Australia. Manatees and dugongs can be found inhabiting slow coastal waters and rivers.
I'm the real sea cow.
No, you're not. I am.
Not.
Am too.
Not.
Am too. They don't represent us. These aquatic heavyweights are notoriously slow-moving and have been compared to cattle for their cruisy pace. Both manatees and dugongs are herbivores, animals that only eat plants. They can consume up to 10% of their body weight in greenery every day. Wait, you like seagrass too? I love seagrass! While these two sea cows may look similar, there are a few key differences in their appearance. A dugong's tail is fluked like a whale's, while a manatee has a large paddle-like tail. Whatever the shape, these tails help both animals glide through the water. When cruising along, they can do a leisurely 8 kilometres an hour. Knowing they weigh between 200 and 590 kilos, you can understand why they're not breaking any speed limits. Manatees and dugongs never leave the water, but like all marine mammals, they must breathe air and surface every few minutes to do so. While manatees and dugongs may look a bit like cows, they're actually more closely related to elephants.
Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. Who knew?
Sea cows, proving the grass isn't always greener on the other side of the ocean.
What do you get when you take the colour of wealth and riches, a spinning wheel, and a spider? A golden wheel spider.
You're called what?
A golden wheel spider.
Are you ready to see some gymnastics? Whee!
These cartwheeling sensations are native to the warm sand dunes of Namibia in southwest Africa.
I'm getting dizzy.
They live in silk-lined burrows in the sand that can be half a metre deep.
Hot sand, hot sand.
To dig these burrows, they move about 10 litres of sand, which is about 80,000 times their body weight.
And now it's time for my amazing disappearing trick.
Golden wheel spiders get their name from the way they give predators the slip, by flipping on their side then rolling away from danger. And this is what they're avoiding, their arch nemesis, the parasitic pompelid wasp.
I will comb the desert to find you. I shall leave no sand grain unturned.
Also known as spider wasps, Pompilids can sniff out a golden wheel spider hiding in the dunes and dig them out. This is how the golden wheels make a fast getaway.
Gold medal for cartwheeling! Here I come! Woo!
Looks quick? That's because it is. These spiders can roll along at speeds of 1 metre per second.
Whoa! Head rush! Nailed the landing.
These unusually nimble arachnids are a member of the huntsman spider family. Like all huntsman spiders, these gymnasts of the desert don't build webs to catch a snack. Instead, they venture out at night to hunt small insects.
Enough chit-chat. I gotta roll.
The golden wheel spider. They're a total spin-out.
What do you get when you cross a seaweed with a ghost, add a pipe, and then a fish? It's a Halimator ghost pipefish.
You're called what?
A Halimator ghost pipefish.
Boo! Did I get you? I always do.
These sea spectres can be found in warm parts of the Indian and Western Pacific Oceans, from the Maldives to Fiji. Halimator is known as cactus algae. Its large leaf-like plates look a lot like the prickly pear cactus. Large meadows of this strong algae grow in nutrient-rich currents near coral reefs, which makes it the perfect hiding place for a ghost fish.
I can't see the ghost.
But you can see the pipefish. Here!
Ooh.
A ghost pipefish is a camouflage genius. The harlequin ghost pipefish looks just like a marine feather star or sea fan.
Mind if I shadow you today? You won't even know I'm here.
The Halimator ghost pipefish swims upside down with its mouth to the seafloor to look just like algae.
Hey Casper, if we can be anything in the sea, remind me why we chose algae again.
This clever disguise allows it to drift along and suck up tiny crustaceans and mysid shrimp.
Hey, is that plant moving?
Nah, you're just seeing ghosts.
Like their cousins, the seahorse, Halimator ghost pipefish have a hard-plated body, which makes them harder for many small predators to gobble up.
You saw a ghost, you say? That's a hard story to swallow.
Halimator ghost pipefish. So sneaky, you'll never know this disappearing act was close by. Boo!